1X, no big deal, nothing fancy, just a quick little snap, and I can see the magic happening. It's doing the work. It's such a brain. The Pixel camera app is such a brain. It takes the thinking out of taking a photo. I still don't feel that I've interacted with a camera where I just point and shoot and often get results that are pleasing to my eye. Now, I've done the extensive analysis. It's true that Apple's software tends to elevate the shadow areas and provide a little bit more detail there. This is mostly in the software, and what is pleasing to a person is dependent on the individual. However, by Google selecting more for contrast and deeper blacks, I end up with a photo that is more pleasing to me without me needing to go in and edit it. Of course, you can still do that. I just like what happens with the Pixel straight out of the camera. Selfies, it's kind of the same thing. I don't get all softened up. There's detail. And it's incredible. It's, what can I say? Google, engineering. This is one area where the Apple devices make me look really weird. I'll show you what I'm talking about. It makes me look super flat for some reason. I'll do the exact same location. Like somehow my skin, it's like I'm wearing makeup. It makes it look like I'm wearing makeup. I've been talking about this for a number of generations, but like look at the color of my eyes, for example, and my beard. The whole thing just looks way softer and less sharpened, like less contrasty. It tries to sort of flatten the complexion and ease the gradient between darks and lights. And you could argue this photo has more detail. You could argue that if you went into a photo editor, you'd have more play with the iPhone photo, and it's probably true. But I don't, oftentimes I just want to point, shoot, and then publish a photo or send or share a photo and not do too much to it. And that's where the Pixel camera and mostly the software determines that through its style choices and how it treats the environment, almost like a filter or something, I end up with something that to me is more pleasing and that I would want to share right away. So that's, again, it's personal preference. It's not better or worse, it's personal preference. So there's also a night sight mode built in, and then on video, let's see what we have for options here. I don't think we have any type of exotic video settings. We do have 4K. We are now testing 4K video on the Google Pixel 4a. I am moving into the plant and we are testing the autofocus. I'm moving back. I will lift my hand up. Oh, baby. Yes. 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 That looks pretty good. Increasingly, smartphones are getting better at those autofocus transitions, but I have run into problems in the past. It doesn't look like that's going to happen here. 4K video on the Google Pixel 4a. I am moving in. It sounds good. It does sound good. Yes. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? We're onto something. It's a nice time to be in the smartphone market. It's a nice time to be looking for a new smartphone. Every time I get my hands on a budget smartphone, that like this one, where I feel like, okay, that right there is a good value, and I do feel that way here, it makes me it reconfigures me. I have a really hard time in these moments recommending the far more expensive smartphones. You can go out right now and easily find a smartphone that's 3 times the cost of this. It's not even hard. But is it 3 times better? It used to be the camera department was the big differentiator. Of course, the chip is not going to be the fastest in the world, but for me on the daily, what I do on a phone, you know what I mean? It was never a big issue for me, the rear unlock. I can live with that. I start to think to myself, yeah, probably more people would be better off with this phone, and then potentially having money left over for a couple other things, maybe some Pixel Buds, maybe a later case to spruce it up a little bit. You got some money left over. You're not spending a fortune. Maybe you want to get a... Think about it, Kirk. You could pick up that new PlayStation 5 and this, or you could get, a flagship iPhone or Samsung. I'm just saying, I like to put it in that context to just help people realize what type of value is out there. I'm super happy that Google's really making a play at the value segment, which is, I think, where the majority of their focus should be. The flagship thing, it's pretty well figured out. It's Apple, it's Samsung, and We know how that goes. It's a lot of glass. It's always glass everywhere when you spend $1,000, unless it's the Note 20. But anyways, okay, so let's put this down for a minute. Let's try the official case since we do have it. I think we might as well. So it's a fabric style case. My issue with these was if you put this down on a table and it had any type of moisture or something, this is absorbent. However, it does give you a kind of like a luxury. You're just not used to feeling this type of texture, like a fabric texture on your phone. But then it also makes your phone kind of big, which, I mean, I don't know if you heard, I'm kind of against the idea of that. So, but it gives you a cutout for your headphone jack. It gives you the space you need on the bottom. And because it juts out a little bit, it's more likely to save your device in the case of a fall. So that's the official Google case. I don't know if this is the only one they're offering, but in the past they've had a couple different models. It does have a nice kind of liner in it. It smells like the Gap. It smells like the Gap. We have the Pixel Buds, which that's an important one for us to check out. I think this could be a nice little package. What's the price of the Pixel Buds? Kirk's gonna guess.
I'm gonna guess $199.
$199 for Pixel Buds. Pixel Buds price USD $179. What did you say?
$199.
You were off. So anyway, we have the Pixel Buds here, and I'm excited to try these out as well. You got the dental floss style of case going on in there, although you can also switch that one up if you want a more stylish or cohesive look. We started making the later case for the AirPods Pro, and then it was like, what about the Android people? This is completely rude having done this. So we talked about it, and we're like, I don't know how many people are gonna, on the Android side, are gonna come out and support, but who cares? We're gonna do it for the Pixel Buds as well. And so that you can have kind of this setup right here, just like that. So that's pretty cool. I'm kind of happy. I'm kind of excited about that. This is another pair that I think it's going to be, a common pair for people. They're going to pick up this device. You could pick up some Pixel Buds and still be less than the flagship level. Inside the pack, we've also got interchangeable ear tips. That's a big one. Get the right fit, then you get the right sound. And we also have a Type-C cable, which is actually a little longer than you might expect to get with a set of earbuds. Sometimes they sneak in a little short one. Now, of course, we've got to get our unwrap on, and where am I going to do such a thing? Oh, don't miss the flap. There we go. All right, so what's odd about this one actually is that the interior and the buds are black. And I think a lot of Android fans probably wanted black earbuds. People have been asking Apple to do a black pair of AirPods for 1 billion years, but these ones are still majorly white. I guess they do make them in a couple different colors. Yeah, there's oh so orange, quite mint, and almost black. So they're even the black one though. This is another thing to consider. Even the black one keeps the white container, which is kind of strange. You would think you would do the white, you would do the black container or case, recharge case. Why am I calling that a container? You know what I mean? That's weird. I don't even know the last time I used the word container. But even if you get the black earbuds, you get the white case, which is kind of odd. But anyways.
So you're saying the only way to get a black case is?
Yeah, I'm saying the only way to get a black case is to do a later case, which you should have done in the first place because you're a smart person, right? Anyways, let's see how these ones work together. I'm curious how integrated the whole thing is. I mean, I haven't used it, right? So is this... Are we gonna have an Apple moment here? We are gonna have an Apple moment. It's just, that's all it is. That's all there is to it. And this is what people expect now. The OnePlus product from the previous video, whatever they're calling theirs. What are their pods called? OnePlus Buds? OnePlus Buds? It's hard to keep it together in this business, ladies and gentlemen. It's every single day we're doing this, and it's another product. I like them too, and they were only 79 bucks. The OnePlus Buds, of course it's the OnePlus Buds. But anyways, those are the budget play at 79. These are slightly more premium, but as you see, you get the nice little prompt for the Pixel Buds and the hefty integration, so you can have your own ecosystem moment where you feel very special for having the cohesion between the two. Set up Pixel Buds. You have your battery life on the case and on each bud, And we're gonna go ahead and start the setup, and I will rotate it into place. Lovely. And it made a little kind of cool sound when I did that to indicate that it was in there. Next. Oh, and it's a gentle, Kirk, they thought about it. It's a gentle, what you'll see is when I go down, it's not a huge, I have a lot of flexibility in there for the exact volume that I'm looking for. I know that's a big deal to you, Kirk. You're very happy about that. Also, play pause. Double tap for skipping tracks or ending and rejecting calls. Okay, double tap. So the touch is pretty good. Lovely. You know, we got the light on there. This is all the things you want, especially if you're going to spend $179. You know what's a crazy thought though? $179, $349. The whole phone is $349. These guys are $179. So, but it goes to show you. Dual microphones for clear calls. In-ear detection, so the audio pauses if you remove the bud. Very nice. Comfortable and secure with the extra ear hook, so you're not, you know, you're doing the physical activities and it stays in. And of course, Google Assistant, which is the only voice assistant that I use. Very integrated. Let's get some tunes going, I suppose. I'll do some muted jazz here. Look at that. I mean, you got the old Ferrari plus the shades. And then you do the shirt all the way up, and then you have the trumpet. So, oh man, that's some muted jazz. Okay, that's actually pretty nice. Now I should jump into something with some bass. People need to know about bass. There's no way around that, Kirk. Do you have a bass request? No, you don't.
Bass nectar.
Bass nectar. Let me tell you something. There's a point where any headphone that is just sitting deeper in your ear canal is just more capable, particularly in the low end, in a bass response, comparative to something that just sort of sits, you know, on the outside of the ear, like a regular AirPod or even the OnePlus Buds. I like how convenient those ones are because it's just a little bit less of a hassle kind of getting it out of the ear. So it's really not a big deal, but it's a little bit less. But there's just no substitute because you create a seal in the ear canal. You could create more pressure inside of there, and then that thump comes through. So if you're a bass head, you probably already know this, but you're probably looking at something like these Pixel Buds or maybe the AirPods Pro, which are the Apple equivalent of the in-ear style. So some options there. I think they sound all right. I think they sound pretty good. It's you know, look, this is an obvious and easy choice for somebody on the Pixel because of the integration and having the whole package kind of come together. Maybe more so for the flagship level Pixel because of the price point. But that said, you could look at it the other way, like I did earlier, and just say, yo, I'm fine with the 4A. It's got everything I need, and I have money left over. So then you could pick up a pair of these buds to go with it. You could create a nice little combo effect if you choose to. What can I say about this phone? Man, vanilla Android. Enough power for me. OLED for the price. Decent screen to body, at least modern with the hole punch thing. Never minded the rear fingerprint. You know about the camera. I don't need to tell you. Camera, Pixel camera, been talking about it. A little bit of a fast recharge, made out of plastic. 700 series Snapdragon. I think I might have just done the pros and cons simply by adjusting my tone. You see, I didn't have to even announce it. So it's not going to win any spec awards. And it's up to you to determine to a certain extent what that G is worth if you want the vanilla Android experience. It does come with some advantages, including getting the latest software features as they roll out, as they become available, instead of waiting for the manufacturer to pump theirs out, if they even will. When I'm talking about manufacturer, I mean Samsung, I mean Xiaomi, I mean the others. I mean everything else. I mean the Oppos. I even mean the OnePlus to a certain extent, because you know this thing is squarely looking at the Nord as well. Another 700 series based smartphone. So it's even a little more pricey than this. And I don't know if you want to do a head-to-head on the camera. I'm just saying. Now, granted, there's other differences. That one, it's got a slightly better spec.